Hello Propstopshowcase fans, welcome to another episode of the show. And we have some incredible boards, don't we, up in all of the 60 or so that we've done so far. I've got to tell you a story with this though. This was a disappointment. I saw this one on the bay, as we call the eBay, and I was really interested in it. I'm like, you know, it's not a classic movie, but I do love elements of it. Everybody loves the Kevin Smith story about how the spider creature was going to be in Superman and it ended up being in the Wild Wild West. So when Wild Wild West came up, I had to have it. And of course I looked at eBay and I went, oh man, look at that, that's great. And the price was good and they settled on a very, very reasonable deal. And I got it in the mail and the box was incredibly small. Why? Because it's the small version. I was very disappointed because I expected the bigger version. But this still has many, many things that make it special. The fact that it's got the Electra tape here with the last day of the shooting. The fact that it is a real, one of those slates, you know, it's engraved here, which I just love because it comes through. It's got Warner Brothers core. And then the best thing of all, it was signed by Will freaking Smith. I mean, that is great. Why is it so small though? I know you're asking that question. Well, slates like this are made for being inside an airplane, inside a car. Perhaps the guy was on a horse and then needed something that he could hide in his coat. These are made for specific reasons. That also makes them rarer because, in all honesty, they just aren't, you know, made, you know, in the way that the A's and the B's are. So this might be one or two of a kind. But as I said, definitely, I'm not entirely sure it's used because well, yes, it is used. Why? Because it's got the date on it. But like so many of us say, I keep hearing this, it's got to have the writing, it's got to have the numbers. That doesn't mean it was used. That just means that when you see that, you know what? I'm wrong. It was used. What I mean to say is when it doesn't have any writing there, that doesn't mean it could have been cleaned. I've had this talk with several cinematographers. Half of them are on my side and half of them aren't. They say that when you use a pen that you can always tell on a board when it was written on. I don't agree with that. I've seen boards where it was 100% written on and you can't tell. It was cleaned after, but I know it was used. But this is what I love because a lot of the times that has to be written on the board. But in this case, they use the Electra letters on it, or Electra numbers. Anyway, I still love this. I think it's an incredible piece. It's the only mini board I like that I've owned. And actually, I've only owned like 3 of them. Not particularly rare, I just don't like them. I like my board to look big and proud and hanging on the wall and you can see everything. But you know what, it's horses for courses. Some people would absolutely love this little dinky thing. And because of that, I'm glad to show you guys. And you know, the Wild Wild West, great TV show, not so great movie, but still one that people remember. And when you collect things, always collect things that you love, and it helps if people remember them also, even if it's for a giant mechanical spider. Take care of yourself, like, subscribe, and we'll see you again on another episode of the Propstop Showcase. Thanks very much. Take care.